Hey guys, get pumped. What's up guys, welcome back to Mac Kite. Today we have the all new 2024 North Reach. This is a kite that I was fortunate enough to test in Portugal, and I ended up falling in love with it. What's up guys, Jake from Mac Kite here at the North Dealer meeting in the wonderful country of Portugal. We're in the northern part of the country, staying at Vienna, just a really awesome resort. And we're spending our time on some really awesome gear, including a lot of the new 2024 season North product. It's really great stuff. Right now I'm on the all new Reach. To get my bias out of the way, this is my kind of kite. Your three-strut, all around, do everything canopy. So it's going to be similar to kites like the Duotone Evo, the Slingshot Code, the Reed and Supermodel, the Cabrina Moto, the Pivot. They're all in that three-strut, do everything, a little bit faster, a little bit bad attitude kind of kite. And this checks those boxes. This is a kite that was a little bit delayed in North's lineup. You know, they obviously started with the Orbit, which is the king of the big air. We got the Carve, and then we got the Pulse, which hardly anybody rides, even though it's an all right kite. And then we have the Reach, which is what we've all been waiting for. So for this year, they've updated the outline of the kite, the canopy shape. And this is something we noticed when we laid out the new 2024 sail against the 2023. You can see the wingtip shape has changed a little bit, and then the canopy here in the middle actually got a little bit deeper. That's going to address really the only complaint I had about the 2023 model, and that is that kite just drove upwind like a son of a gun, which was really great. But the moment you left the water and were doing a trick, a lot of times if you pulled your kite out of it, it would surge forward and you could end up over rotating. With this, that's largely been addressed. It's probably not going to drive upwind quite as well because of the fact that it's a bit deeper here. So it's going to sit a little bit deeper in the window. Still goes upwind really well, just not quite as well as the previous generation. But I think the compromise is worth it because you get a kite that feels a bit more intuitive on the water, that kind of comes out where you expect it to. Other than that, that refinement you can see when it's in the sky. It's just a very smooth, balanced canopy. We've talked about that concept of being balanced before, where when you're at the bar, it feels like the line tensions are very in tune with one another. It's not too backline heavy. It's not flying too much off the front lines. It's just there. And when you get that sense of balance, it's hard to describe without being on the water, but it's just like there's a field of possibility. Like whatever you're going to do with the kite, it's going to react and it's going to pull you through that trick. And that's what you get with this Reach. Some other cool things about the Reach is it does use their nMax Dacron. This is something that it's actually used the past 2 years. And this, as we talk about materials, premium materials, this is shifted towards kind of the premium material side. So it's not a regular Dacron. It's going to be a lighter, stiffer Dacron that's more in line with something like you might see with SLS. It's not quite full Alula Hukipa, but it ain't basic either. That's really important because of the price of these kites. So you're not paying for that premium, but you're getting the premium performance. And that's something North's been able to achieve by focusing a lot on controlling their materials and really inventing and making these materials. We'll talk about that a lot more with the Mode Pro, the Loft Pro, and I'm sure we'll see some stuff like that coming in the canopies. It's just not quite there yet. But I think the nMax is a step in the right direction, and you can feel it on the water. You just get that snappiness, that crisp turden, and the kite just feels light in the sky. You can see that particularly in the gusts, in the lulls. It just doesn't fidget quite as much. Other than that, we're going to have some lighter weight bladder materials. It's going to run all the way from their 4 to their 17 meter. So if you love the Reach, you can fill your entire quiver with it. When you're on the upper end of that, the 15 and 17, I really recommend those for your heavier weight riders. It still will be a decent light wind kite, but I would look at something like the Code Zero, which is going to be a single strut kite, potentially pairing that with a foil. Again, this will work, but it's not quite optimized as a dedicated light wind riding. This is the one where you're not pushing threshold winds, But when it's not quite filling in 14, 15 knots, you want to be doing some tricks, doing some jumps, this is the kite to grab. I would put that kind of in line with the Cabrina Contra. Again, not dedicated light wind, but light wind good enough. But otherwise, you can flesh out your full quiver with this. The bag, really nice. We don't generally talk about bags, but this is going to be a recycled material, so you can feel a bit good about that. It's got a good size to it. It's a bit oversized, so you can actually pack up your kite, put it in here without jamming too much, which is quite nice. The buckles are really nice, good straps. I think this really benefits from their association with the larger North Sail group, but also with Mystic. You sometimes see these brand crossovers, and you get the best of both worlds there. So overall, who is this kite for? It's kind of that person who wants to do a little bit of everything without committing to being discipline specific. So I think there's a lot of merits by going discipline specific. If you know you want to be the big air king, set the woo record, go with the Orbit. That's going to be really, really tailored to big air jumping. If you want to surf, go with something like the Carve or the Code. If you want to foil, go with one of those other kites. But if you like to do everything, you know, me personally, I love riding on the twin tip and jumping, but I also like occasionally using my surfboard, jumping on a foil, and the Reach is going to be the kite that I grab. It's just so versatile. It's the embodiment of kiteboarding for me, honestly. Just do everything, but still send it, rip it, and have a really, really good time. I'm really, really excited about this new Reach. I'm going to be spending a lot of time on it this year. Really, we live in such an awesome period of kiting because there's not many bad kites out there. Everything is so refined. Everything's getting better with these materials. And I think the North Reach is right there near the leading edge of the pack. It gives you everything you could possibly want with a do-all free ride kiteboarding kite, and it's gonna leave you with a smile on your face. Guys, as always, thanks for checking us out. We are going to do a full on the water video with this, with a review. I did ride it a number of times in Portugal, but we really like to try to get, say, like 5+ sessions on a kite before we give a really, really detailed review on what we love and what we're not so hot on. But for right now, I would say this gets 2 thumbs up, and you should definitely add it to your quiver. Thanks for checking us out. This has been Jake with Matt Kite.